Let us real quick because before we get to the Super Bowl stuff, there was a couple of big coaching changes today
Yeah.
in the NFL. We do want to talk about that, and of course, we'll start with Tina because she's our resident Bronco fan. And Tina, now listen. Now here's the thing, though. For some reason, from what the stories I'm hearing, D'Amico Ryans turned down the Broncos job, and that is when Mr. Payton was brought into the mix. And we'll talk about where D'Amico ended up. But how do you feel now? You've got Sean Payton as the new head coach of the Denver Broncos.
From what I understand from talking to people, it was D'Amico and Sean and Jim Harbaugh was who they were going after.
Oh,
Harbaugh dropped
right.
out because he was going back to Michigan. Yes. And then they were
Alex, right.
D'Amico Ryan supposedly had an interview that was out of the park. But everybody keeps forgetting in all of this is that D'Amico Ryan went to school in Houston. His wife is from Houston. Her family is from Houston. He has connections to Houston. So
played for Houston in the NFL too.
Exactly. So like him going back to Houston to me was kind of a no-brainer. That I wanted D'Amico Ryan. I really wanted D'Amico Ryan, even though that was going to be, I think, our 5th brand new head coach. That's who I wanted.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the Payton decision. I think they jumped the gun a little bit. They might have been able to wait. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I have some questions about. He is a great coach. No doubt about that on my mind. I think he'll be good for Wilson because he will get an offense that's designed to move around Wilson. So I think that's a good one. I have a problem with Bountygate. Yeah, I don't care how many times people tell me he wasn't involved. He didn't know. He's the head coach. He needed to know what was going on in the locker room. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
And the one thing that is, we still don't, all we know is what New Orleans wanted in order for him to go to Denver. We don't know what the Waltons are going to give him to get the contract. And that's the part that I'm concerned about because I think he's going to want GM position. And I don't like head coaches and GMs as GMs. I want some accountability. And last thing. Good thing I did find out. One thing I am hearing about this is everybody's kind of talking, who's he going to bring in? Who's he going to bring in? There's rumblings that the Broncos are talking to Fangio to bring him back as the GC under Payton.
Yeah.
That I would agree with. So
that's who Sean Payton wants.
Wait and see. I don't know. I don't want to get too excited because we got really excited last year.
Yeah. I understand. Right. And that's kind of a thing. Kyle, we'll go next to you.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, obviously big disappointment this year. I don't think anybody would argue that. Considering the hype of him coming in, the whole thing, this is going to be a great, offense. He's got, Lindsey, he's got Jerry Jeudy, he's got, I forget the other guy's name. I don't know why his name escapes me right now, but he's got 2 good receivers. Thank you. Sorry. Yes. Right. Tina knows. She's a Broncos fan. No, but I'm saying, can Russ get back to that form? Is it too late, or does Russ still have some time here to turn this thing around with Sean Payton at the helm?
So one of my best friends is a Seahawks fan, unfortunately, but he is. And and he was never behind Russell Wilson pretty much ever since he started. Like, I don't know. Like Russell Wilson, it's tough to say if he's the guy or not, or if he just had a lucky year. You know what I mean? Like the way I look at it is like the guy's talented. He is talented. I'm not going to take that away from him. But I'm going to say this very broadly. Untalented quarterbacks still win Super Bowls. Unfortunately, that is the reality. And I don't know. Like, if the thing is the way I look at it is Sean Payton. I kind of disagree with Tina. I think Sean Payton by far is the best coach you can sign that's available right now. If anybody is going to turn Russell Wilson around, it will be Sean Payton. And if not, then Russell Wilson probably is not your guy. I'll be honest with you at that point. It's tough to say. Like, the Denver Broncos right now are in a really good spot. They pretty much have all the makings to be that Super Bowl contender and compete in a division that's already very tough. So at this point, it's just actually playing. To be quite honest, to put it blunt, There's nothing else really to it. And kudos to the Saints actually. Like I'm not a big obviously I'm not a Saints fan. Mr. Fingers knows that as well. But they got their first round pick back, and I'm just saying they had literally no moves really to make. And getting Sean Payton, who was never going to come back to the Saints, away and get a first and a second round pick. Kudos to the Saints. I'm just saying.
Well, that's been the rumors all along. That's always what they've been saying is that's what New Orleans wanted. They wanted a first and they wanted a second. And that's and let me say this again. I think Payton is a great coach. It's the intangibles that I have an issue with this decision. They could have waited another year. Payton would have been free. You wouldn't have had to give up draft picks. He'd been talking about he wanted to stay in California. Let's talk about the tweet that he sent during the middle of his Arizona interview where he gave information to one guy saying, this isn't working out. The guy puts the information out, and then he comes back and says, the Broncos are a great organization. That's the intangibles with Payton with mine. I agree he'll be great for Wilson because unlike other coaches, Payton isn't going to try and put a square peg in a round hole. He's going to get an offense that works for that guy. And so it's just other things like, did we overpay for him? Did we jump the gun because we were afraid there weren't going to be any good candidates if we waited until after the Super Bowl? Those are the issues. That's why I'm on this kind of, I'm not sure about this thing because.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, let me ask you this. Given that basically a coach was traded for draft picks, now my understanding, and maybe you could help me with this is why I'm coming to you, this is not something that really happens where you trade a coach for draft picks.
It's only happened
one at a time. Okay, so what kind of precedent do you think this really sets, though, in the modern day era? Do you think we'll see more of this?
I don't think so because a lot of people were thinking this was going to be a more regular thing when Gruden got traded back when the Bucs won that Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
So people were saying back, too, that, we traded for Gruden. Now more coaches, now that we know that they're available for trade, are going to be available. And I mean, we've seen maybe 2-3 times people have said, we should try and trade for Mike Tomlin or try and trade for this guy or that guy. But nothing ever really happens. And had Sean Payton been coaching and still been the Saints coach, this doesn't happen. The fact that he retired, he's still under contract and wants to get back in, that's the whole reason this happened.
No, okay, like I said, it's a weird thing to see. Like you said, it only happened one other time. So I mean, you coach for picks. You got to love the concept of it, though, I suppose.
To be fair, we're saying it was a lot for the first and the second. The Gruden trade was 2 firsts plus. There was more on top of that. So yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So the first and the second isn't that bad when you compare it to that, but it's still a lot to trade for a guy that stays on the sideline the entire time.
And they're also getting a 29th pick. It's not like they're getting a one.
You're basically getting another second round pick. Yeah.
True. Okay, very true. But yeah, I get you. 29th pick is still 29th pick, right? What the heck?
Yeah. Still a first round player.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there you go. So there we go, folks. We talked about Sean Payton.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.